Здравейте отново. Hello, Кристина. It's a pleasure to have you here on the floor of Forbes Women Forum. I couldn't help thinking about the previous panel that this was a real superwoman, like really the way you imagine. But I think you're a superwoman in a different direction as a representative of one very special organization, УНИЦЕФ, here in Bulgaria. Starting, I think, mid last year you came here, but before that you were in many other places. But just for the audience, and it was very interesting for me that UNICEF stands for the United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, and it was established right after World War II as a mean to alleviate the impact of that horrible war on children. And 75 or more years after that, it still helps them. So welcome indeed. And
thank you.
You've spent, I think, your entire professional career, or at least the past 22 years, working for the sake of children as part of UNICEF. So please tell us how did you choose that road? What was your experience there? And what kept you going? I mean, despite the huge emotional toll, I believe, from that job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's really a pleasure to be among so many inspiring women. A pleasure and an honor for me indeed to be here and to share a little bit about leaders in another kind of context. And indeed, I've been working with UNICEF for the last 22 years. It has brought me to 5 different continents. I've lived in many different places in Africa, in Senegal, in Côte d'Ivoire, but also in Asia, in Sri Lanka, in Ethiopia. And I think it brought me to some of the most complex humanitarian emergencies, some of the most complex conflict situations where there is active fighting, but also, for example, after the tsunami response, which was, of course, one of the biggest disasters which hit Asia in 2004. And I was based in Sri Lanka on the east coast when the tsunami hit. And I believe that it's indeed, you asked me what are some of the strengths. And I believe that it's really in those very difficult moments that we can see the hope and the resilience of children. And the children we meet during our mission, of course, have a profound impact on me. I remember Rania, a girl from 10 years old in Sri Lanka who had lost her mother in the tsunami. And of course, this is a trauma for her and for her family. And there were so many other families who've either lost sisters or parents. But this little Rania really, I would say, left a crucial mark on me because despite the difficulties, the difficult trauma that she was going through and her family, she saw hope, and she still saw a glimpse of hope through her eyes, which gives this resilience that children have, which I believe also helps me to fulfill my purpose in life for UNICEF.
Indeed, it must be very challenging because we were talking right before the interview that some people focus on what they couldn't achieve and fret about it later in the evening. I think it was mentioned on one of the previous interviews. And if you're such type of person, it must be very difficult thinking, oh, I didn't save everybody, I couldn't do more. But you must be very positive and indeed almost having the hope of a child to continue actually on that mission of
I think there's indeed always more to be done. And we live in a divided world, and we see that we need everyone together. We need all partners united to make a better world for children. But indeed, I do believe that while keeping this perseverance, the tenacity, which helps us to go on and to fulfill our dreams and to make sure that children will have a better life in the world, but also here in Bulgaria.
Right. And that brings me to the question, I mean, you've seen maybe the worst, I don't know, that could be for children in the world. And now you're in Bulgaria. Still, like, do you say, oh, here the job is done and everybody are happy? Or they are, maybe we don't have, I mean, thank God we don't have like child soldiers or tsunamis on that scale. Landmines, you were sharing with me stories about that. We don't have them, but maybe we have, maybe we're failing some of our children in more subtle, more invisible ways. Could you share what have you seen?
Absolutely. There's indeed, fortunately, no child soldiers in Bulgaria. But indeed, there is still a lot to be done for children in Bulgaria. When we look at the situation of children in Bulgaria, we see that 1 out of every 2 children has witnessed some form of violence, both in schools but also at community level, including violence against women, but also looking at, for example, stigma for children with disabilities. We know that 10,000 children with disabilities are out of school. And we know that 115,000 children in Bulgaria are at the risk of dropping out of school. So I visit a lot the field. I just came back from Sliven, Schumann and Vratsa regions. And of course, when we talk there with social workers, when we talk there with parents, when we talk with children, you clearly see that there's still a lot to be done before every child is in a quality education and access to healthcare, for example.
And what could concretely be done? I mean, what can we as a society, as government, as businesses, as individual people, be that women or men, what could we do to improve that? Because, I mean...
Yes, I mean, definitely I would say that at the moment, with such a more divided world, more complex challenges, businesses, women leaders play a crucial role. We need to unite behind the team of the future. We need to unite behind children in order to really make a drastic impact and sustainable change. I believe that the power of businesses and of women leaders is that we can make a transformational change which will have an impact longer term, beyond just a project-based. And I believe that this is the beauty of coming together, uniting together with key business partners behind the cause of children. And you saw earlier the little girl in Burgas, Sylvia, 3-year-old. Thanks to the support of a concrete team of social workers, a mobile team of social workers, Sylvia, of 3-year-old, this is Sylvia from Burgas, she's now being able to, again, be supported, which helped her to sit, and she's now taking her very first steps. And I believe this is really thanks to the support of crucial individuals, women leaders, but also key corporate partners.
Do you have from your experience examples of very successful partnerships between UNICEF and local companies or leaders, even in Bulgaria, that could inspire the people here to, follow?
Yes, there is, I would say, many different and very positive examples of key partnerships that UNICEF is having with several business companies here, through their employees, really supporting the cause of children through employers' schemes, but also raising crucial awareness, of the plight of children, of the unfinished business, I would say, before every child reaches their potential. So there is a lot, I believe, we can do together, and I really see a lot of strong leaders, inspiring leaders here.
That is true. Because I see we're again running out of time, maybe we can see that special video that you prepared, UNICEF, and it's very well timed for the World Cup. I'm sure there are some fans here, so you will guys enjoy it. Yes.
This is my team, and we have one dream.
Chúng ta cùng đoàn kết vì mọi trẻ em.
Let's come together for every child.
Să para educație всяко.
Por la salud mental de la infancia.
Нам потрібен мир для кожної дитини.
Igualdad para la infancia.
এটি এমন একটা দল যাকে আমরা সবাই সাপোর্ট করতে পারি।
Este es mi equipo.
Esse é o meu time.
这是我的队伍。
This is my team.
То є моя дружина. Let's see your support.
This is the team we can all get behind.
让我们携起手来，为了每一名儿童。
আর নয় বিভেদ, আর নয় বৈষম্য।
There can only be one team when it comes to children's rights.
Join us.
So nice. You want to say something? Any final remarks?
Just want to maybe highlight indeed, as was mentioned in the video, please join us to unite for the one team of the future, which is the team of children.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was an honor.